Mike check here for the Game On Sports broadcast. Trying to get used to being up in the booth. I'm going to have to close this at some point. Or just move it down. I'm just going to move it down. We'll do that one, Silviana. And something incredible just happened. Woohoo! Yeah. You want me to do that one?
This is going to be me. You know what it is? Yeah. I also. Yeah, nobody's going to be able to.
Got the drum line going. I can't hear myself. Is that a way we can fix that one?
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for our national anthem. Tonight's anthem will be sung by Nia Blanton. She is a 7th grader at Highland Park Middle School, and she's a member of the middle school choir. Ladies and gentlemen, Nia Blanton. Good job, girl. Way to hear it. Yeah,
Welcome everyone to Highlander Stadium for this D1 lacrosse matchup between the Highland Park Scots and the Allen Eagles. Thank you again for joining us here on Game On Sports Productions edition of Highland Park Lacrosse. A beautiful Monday night for some lacrosse action here from Dallas, as both of these two squads coming into this one, the D1 North District matchup. Highland Park coming in 1-0 on the season after a pretty dominating win against Westlake at the Star back on February 18th. And then Allen Eagles on the other side, they've come in with 6 games of experience, 3-3 already on the season after a couple wins and a couple losses throughout their non-district schedule. But both these squads coming in looking for a big one today here from Highlander Stadium. Highland Park winning a huge one against a pretty stout Westlake foe that they met up against in the semifinals of last season. And really making quick work of the Chaps back at the Star a couple Saturdays ago. But here a different challenge in Allen, as we are just about ready. Kyle Massimilian from the Face-Off X, ready to get us started here on some Monday night lacrosse action. I'm Kyle Yeomans, riding solo on tonight's broadcast as we are underway from Highlander. The ground ball trying to be picked up, bounced around, and the scrum is going to give the Scots the first possession. Kosmetsky ended up with the ground ball recovery. Kos wasting no time getting going, trying to make an early run, but good defense on the other side from Allen. That's actually Peyton Jefferson on defense, forcing Kosmetsky to work it around the perimeter. Like I said, the Scots 1-0 on the season, the home opener, as Alexander is going to take it and reset behind the net to Nelson. Seabold now back up top to Gent. The Scots, a team that does not have any kind of urgency when the ball is in hand, but Gent gets the scoring underway. A rocket shot from about 15 yards out. And the junior has his first goal of the season, as Seabold is credited with the assist. But Finn Gent getting the Scots off to an early lead, 1-0. Only took him about a minute and 3 seconds. Proving me wrong, saying that Highland Park has no sense of urgency. Gent didn't take very long to get back on the board. As we are back to the face-off X, both goalies for both of these squads. Doak Walker, the freshman, in between the posts for the Scots, and then on the other side you have Garrett Franco as Alexander tries to take it all the way, and that one's going to be saved by Franco. And the Scots finally concede the possession and give it right back over to the Eagles, but the Eagles in return are going to turn it over and send it the other direction off of the arid pass. So the Scots wasting no time getting going. Kosmetsky with it, as there's going to be a flag on the far side. The Scots will continue to have advantage. Gent on the far side, the lone goal scorer so far, as we are early in the first. Just about 10 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Here goes Kosmetsky on a run. Back to Gent. Holzenbach, who had a great game against Westlake at the Star, gets a shot there by Nelson and a save by Franco. That's 2 already for Garrett Franco. As they're going to be a penalty called, offsides on Allen. That's going to send Tate Thornley to the penalty box. Foley. And here come the Scots again. Alexander with the bounce shot. That one from just about the same exact spot that Finn Gent scored his first one. Parker Alexander gets his first goal of the game, unassisted on that one. So the Scots wasting no time, 2-0 here against Allen, looking for their second win of the season in their second game. They had the 3 exhibitions down in Houston a couple weeks ago. As Maximilian looking to pick up the ground ball, and he does. There's another face-off win for the Scots as they are 3-0 in that regard so far tonight. They had a very nice game from the face-off X at the Star against Westlake as well. That helped propel them on a huge run, scoring 8 unanswered goals after Westlake scored the opener. And that one, the shot just a bit wide from Paxton Alexander. The Scots regain possession quickly, and a goal on the far side. I believe that is Cole Jackson. Nope, that is not Cole Jackson. I think it's Elliot Nelson or Reese Glusing. I cannot see the numbers from up here, but Reese Glusing is going to be credited with the goal.
33.
Sorry, I only saw 3. I was like, who's got like Trent Page on goal?
So Glusing with his first goal of the game. He was the first one to score against Westlake back on the 18th and didn't get a goal after that, but he's got one to his name tonight, his second on the season. Westlake finally has the ball on their side of the field, but instead Stern regained possession but turns it over as he was looking to find his teammate Sostad in the back. Kate Sostad, an All-American, finally returning from injury that he sustained during the football season. This is his first game back with the Scots, and they are definitely happy to have the Virginia commit back on the field. So the first run here from White and the Eagles. Their first possession in hand is going to end up almost in a turnover, and somehow Parker Schubert was able to get a hold of that ball, but instead it's overthrown, and a whistle is going to give it back to the Scots. John House, the captain, working it up. That one lost in wide open field by Paxton Alexander. Had an open look at goal, but couldn't control the pass, and the Scots will still regain possession. And that is one thing that the Scots have been incredibly efficient at, is fielding ground balls and using that to their advantage. So Siebold working to his left on the far side, trying to find Glusing in the middle. And a turnover is going to give it back to the Eagles. Actually, no, it's going to stay with the Scots. So here comes Highland Park in the usual home whites, the chrome, gold, and navy helmets. The traditional Scots lacrosse look. Allen in all navy tonight. A turnover forced by the by Allen, excuse me, but the Scots regain possession. Nice move there. Alexander for the goal. Paxton Alexander, the Michigan commit. And the junior gets on the board for the first time. And the Scots spreading the wealth around. All 4 goals coming from individual scorers. Different than the last. So Paxton Alexander, who had a nice shot on goal earlier, but it was saved by Franco, gets a little bit of a revenge shot and goal here with 7:21 left in the first. Scots up by 4. As that'll send Maximilian back to the face-off X. And it looks to be another win by the Scots. Actually, no, Allen comes away with a face-off win. Keelan Harris, the one to pick up the loose ball. Another loose ball near midfield is going to be poked out by Chris Walker. And a confused official on the near side has no idea what to call. He's going to give it to the Scots. Or no, he's going to give it to Allen, excuse me. So Allen has a shot here to get back within 3 goals, as they have seen the Scots have their way early on, up by 4. You have Wilson Thomas, goal line extended, trying to work on the Scots defender. A very shifty attacker Thomas is for the Eagles. Not the biggest body on the field, but he can fly. He'll have a chance here with a little bit of open space. Instead, he's going to dump it right back off to the far side. Thomas on a run. Good defense there from Parker Alexander. Thomas had no room to penetrate whatsoever. He's going to try it once again. This time he has a little bit of room. Not enough of an angle to get a shot off. And the Eagles reset up top. So Allen taking their time. And the Scots force a turnover. Here goes Kosmetsky at the 30. Has a shot attempt. And that one blocked. Tried to scoop it back up and over Franco, but instead the goalie gets a hand on it. So a coast-to-coast try there from Jack Kosmetsky is blocked nicely by the goalie Garrett Franco. But here comes Alexander pushing forward in transition. Nelson is going to give it back to Kos. Kos forward to Alexander. Alexander, crease line extended on the far side, trying to get past Thomas, loses the ball. Looks like he's going to get it back, and he does. Alexander, he has a shot and a goal for Nelson. Nelson found a little bit of room right in the middle of the slot. And Elliot Nelson, the junior in the D2 call-up from a year ago, who had a couple assists from the game against Westlake. He had 2 goals as well, but he gets his first one tonight. And what a job and what vision by Alexander to look up and see the open space that Nelson had right in the middle in front of the goal. And almost like a touch pass one-timer in hockey, as Maximilian gets a shot at it just over the crossbar, no good. And the Scots and Elliot Nelson will get a chance here to continue their offensive try. Wholesome back, who had another nice game, the overall MVP of the D2 state championship game in 2016. Had a great game, now a senior against Westlake, as Siebold trying to get in the scorer's book for the first time tonight. Sees an open shot from Nelson again, but Nelson can't handle the hot pass, and it's going to be turned over as Benjamin Bishop able to get a stick on it.
Good defense by number 34, Benjamin Bishop.
And the defender coming up and taking a shot there. Peyton Jefferson sent it just wide to the right. So here come Allen once more. And what a play by Kate Sostad on the far side. Those are the kind of hustle plays that you love to see from a player, especially an All-American returning from injury. Looking to become the first player in program history to be a 3-time All-American. As Sostad, still a junior. So Alexander, about 20 yards out. So Siebold will reset. He's got House. House loses it. And Bishop continues pressing forward for the Eagles. Bishop, one of the better players on this Eagles squad, takes a hit from Alexander, but continues moving on. Here comes Cutler. Cutler sends a pass, can't be handled. Walker out of net, fighting for that one. Has to get back into position. The loose ball as it turned into a right-handed side of the field scrum. But here comes Allen after the whistle. So the Eagles will continue trying to get on the board for the first time down 5-0 currently. Allen, a couple losses on the season, as that shot is up and saved by Doak Walker, the freshman, with his first save of the night. And a good one it was. Looked like for a second Allen may have had their first goal of the evening. Up in the right upper hand corner of the goal. But Walker able to reach up and put a good stick on it. So a whistle on the far side is going to give possession right back to Allen. So another chance here for the Eagles, still trailing by 5. Highland Park with 1:44 remaining on the clock here in the first. Beautiful night in Dallas. D1 lacrosse action from Highlander Stadium. Here's a try from Allen, trying to get on the board for the first time tonight. Thornley, right in the middle of the slot, had an open look, but didn't have any kind of look from the far side. A nice move and a shot. Poor angle, as a shot will go out of bounds, but Allen, nice hustle there from Schubert in order to get the ball to stay on their far side. So Stevens. Stevens on the far side. Allen has not had any kind of good look so far tonight, and that's a testament to this Highland Park defense. Only gave up 2 goals against Westlake on the 18th, a team that usually puts up some pretty big numbers. And defense there from Kate Sostad is going to fade into a turnover once again from Highland Park. So Sostad already making his mark on this first quarter. 27 seconds left. Let's see if Highland Park will get another go at it. Instead, it's turned over. Glusing couldn't handle the pass. Cutler gets it taken away by Glusing. 17 seconds on the clock. The Scots faced with a stout Allen defense so far. House has 10 seconds to work with. In the middle, finds Seabold for the goal with 4.8 seconds left in the first quarter. Seabold takes the assist from John House and puts the Scots up by 6 with just ticks remaining on the clock here in the first. Seabold in the scrum found a little bit of open room, broke free from his defender, and took the laser pass from John House. Turned it right back around, and Garrett Franco didn't stand a chance in net for another Highland Park score. So 6 goals for Highland Park here in the first quarter. 6 different goal scorers on the night.
Face-off violation. Eagle ball.
So the face-off violation will somehow result in a goal. Keelan Harris from about 35 yards out won the face-off thanks to a violation. Just threw up a prayer and then off of the bounce got past Doak Walker for the score. So Walker caught off guard. There was 1.8 seconds left on the clock before Harris just threw up a prayer before the buzzer and somehow puts the Allen Eagles on the board for the first time tonight. So despite the final 1.8 seconds left in the first quarter, it was a pretty remarkable first quarter once again from Highland Park. Another quick start as they scored 6 unanswered to begin the night against Allen as they look to improve to 2-0 on the very young season, their first potential district win here against Allen. So Highland Park not happy with the final seconds, but there's not a whole lot you can do whenever a player like that and Keelan Harris just can throw up a prayer and find the back of the net. So 12 minutes back on the clock. We're just about ready here for second quarter of action. Thank you again for joining us. This has been Highland Park Lacrosse on Game On Sports. I'm Kyle Yeomans, riding solo tonight in the booth, bringing you this Monday night matchup between some lacrosse heavyweights, Allen and the Eagles against the Highland Park Scots. Both of these schools known for their football programs. Allen, of course, winning 4 straight state championships in the early 2010s. With players such as Kyler Murray at the helm or quarterbacking that Eagles squad for 4 straight state championships. And then Highland Park, the winningest program in state football history, as they are now reeling off of their football championship from the 2016 season. A bunch of football players on the team. Of course, John House, the captain. You got Scully Genevine, who is still sidelined. Cade Saustad making his way back for his first appearance since his football injury, as we are back underway here in the second quarter, and another face-off win for Highland Park. Here comes Alexander. Finds Wholesome back. Seabold in the middle. The bounce, no good. That one grabbed on the baseline from Nelson. He slipped, fell, and is going to turn it over to Allen. There are a couple whistles on the far side, but Allen now with actually a 1-0 run thanks to that last-second goal from Keelan Harris from about 35 yards out. As that one's turned over, here comes Alexander. Finds Seabold right in the middle. No one around him. Finally gets around the dive and the score. Owen Seabold. Absolutely incredibly athletic play. Right outside the crease. Dove forward. As there's going to be a timeout called by Coach Nick Blummer and the Allen Eagles, as Seabold had nothing but green grass between him and Garrett Franco, and he took advantage of it, diving forward, and the Syracuse commit now has 2 goals on the night. He only had 1 goal against Westlake back on the 18th in a blowout of the Chaps, but Seabold already off to a quick start tonight. 12-3 was that final score against Westlake. So Highland Park well on their way of passing that 13-goal mark, or that 12-goal mark, excuse me, and potentially moving forward and maybe on the defensive end holding the Allen Eagles back underneath 3 goals as well, as the defense has looked extremely strong so far. So Highland Park, one of 2 teams in the North District to only play 1 game this far. Southlake the other one, and that's actually the next opponent for Highland Park, as they will play coming up this Saturday on the 4th. Some of the other scores or I guess records around the district. ESD, the Episcopal School of Dallas, 3-0 on the season. They were one of the losses that Allen has already sustained. A 17-1 demolishing of the Eagles as that loose ball is popped high up in the air. And here come the Eagles. Will White, as he's going to throw it cross field. The shot and a block. Once again, Doak Walker standing up strong. Parker Stevens with the shot attempt. And here comes St. Solstad. That one blocked by Franco. Franco's 5th save of the night, but at the same time, he's still giving up 7. And Solstad had a nice coast-to-coast try for the goal there. So, Korthrop. Connor Korthrop trying to call for some kind of chance here. Another shot blocked by Doak Walker.
Great save by number 16, Doak Walker.
He has been almost flawless on the night. 3 saves so far. That one gets past him. So Connor Korthrop is able to bring Allen back within 5, 7-2. Now the score. So Walker, who was 3 for 4 on save opportunities, is now 3 for 5, and the Scots have given up their second goal of the game. Allen not going away just yet. A lot of time left in this one, and Korthrop gets on the board. So Maximilian in the face-off X once again against another goal scorer in Keelan Harris. And here comes Maximilian. Has Wholesome back working between the hashes. Far side. Siebold. Guarded very loosely by the Allen defense. If they have done any scouting, that's not the guy you want to leave open. The underneath pass from Siebold finds Elliot Nelson. What a pass from Siebold going underneath the defender. And once again, that's just another time that Garrett Franco could not have anything to do. Just absolutely incredible from Siebold. And you can see why the Syracuse Orangemen are excited to get his work in the upcoming seasons. Wow. Siebold on the scouting report listed as a goal scorer. How about a goal assister there? So Nelson with his second goal of the game. And another face-off win for Maximilian once again. So, what a great stop there on the far side. Cole Jackson saved that one from being turned over, and a good defensive stick play.
Good defense by Allen.
So here comes Allen on the far side. Short stick midi coming up. Open shot in the middle. That ball's going to be turned over. And Highland Park will get possession. They have numbers. If they can hustle forward here and take advantage of it. Alexander. Siebold, who has flashed some greatness tonight with it behind net. House, who has an assist as well. And here comes Alexander on a run. In the middle, finds an open. Wholesome back for the goal.
Number 15, Max Holzenbach.
Wholesome back with his first score of the night off of a brilliant pass from Alexander. And Holzenbach had a nice night against Westlake as well in that first game of the season. And here he is again, getting open right in the middle of the slot and receiving the assist from Alexander. So the Scots answer the 1 goal from Allen with 2 of their own. Here goes Massimilian and finally loses a face-off. And that one turned over. It went the wrong way and sits it right into the hands, or the waiting stick, excuse me, of Max Holzenbach. Connor Stone entering into the game for Coach Thompson. Kosmetsky, Holzenbach. Here goes Stone picking it up in the loose position right in front of the goal. Here comes Siebold. The Siebold shot just off and to the right. And Alexander will pick it up and throw it right back in. Stone almost had a highlight reel play there. The loose ball right in the middle of the slot. Could have been picked up. Here comes Gent right over the crossbar. No good. So the Scots, despite not putting a shot on goal here in this possession, have had a couple great looks. Siebold looks and finds Gent through the defense. The shot blocked as Allen and Achilles Armaderas with the good defense. He was also the one with the face-off win as well. A nice defense play there by Kosmetsky. Allen looking to bring it back within 6 and stay relatively close here with about 6.5 minutes left in the first half. That one turned over and Connor Stone couldn't stay with it. So a penalty on a Highland Park will keep the possession with Allen. Looks like Max Holzenbach is the one charged with the foul. So a 1-minute penalty on Holzenbach as Allen will continue working forward, trying to get any kind of shot on Doak Walker. Only one of them off of a set piece, the other one off of a prayer so far tonight. That one turned over. Here come the Scots. Chris Walker with it on the far side. Is going to get it to Siebold right near that 30-yard line. So a couple substitutions on the far side as Stanzel's going to check in for Coach Thompson. Here comes Camden Clark as well. So Kosmetsky with it, kind of toying with the Allen defender. I believe that's Will White. It is in front of him. The clock continues to tick off as House is going to check out. Looks like Cooper Canese on the far side. Connor Stone in the middle. Yeah, Finn Ginn out there along with Paxton Alexander. Here comes Siebold, and there's a foul called once again as there's a timeout called on the far side. So Highland Park and Coach Thompson using their first timeout of the game, up 9-2 on the visiting Allen Eagles. So far, Highland Park, not a whole lot of tight ball games just yet in their young season. We talked about the Westlake game on and off again tonight already, a 12-3 victory at the Star. That one was expected to be a dogfight till the very end, and instead Highland Park got off to a quick start, jumping ahead 8-1 before the halftime break. And then after that, of course, the one tonight where Highland Park is now up 9-2. And we still have 4 minutes and 57 seconds left here in the second quarter. A lot of the reasons behind Highland Park's success so far this season is the great play by Kyle Massimilian, widely known as one of the best Fogos in the entire state. The Harvard commit, all district, of course. And he is been having his way so far with Allen and with Westlake, with that being said tonight. So after the timeout, both teams make their way back out on the field. Beautiful night for some Monday lacrosse action. This D1 North District matchup between Allen and Highland Park has been controlled from the very face-off by the Scots, up 9-2. It was 6-0 before Allen even got on the board. Here comes Kosmetsky going back to his left, reversing. Alexander has it. Goal line is extended. Instead sends it back behind net to Siebold. The Scots, one of the best teams in the state of spreading out the field, getting as much green room as they can. Here comes Alexander. Had a little bit of a crease there for a shot attempt. Instead, Kosmetsky off the bounce from 15 yards out as the celebratory handshake with Alexander. And the tailback duo in football season can also be a duo here in lacrosse season as well, as Kosmetsky gets his first of the night and continues the absolute rout of Allen so far. 10-2 is now the score here from Highlander Stadium. So Massimilian is going to win that face-off thanks to a violation on Keelan Harris. So 4 minutes left here in the second quarter as 2/3 of the clock has ticked down. Siebold versing back goal side. Rainbows won to Kosmetsky. Kosmetsky with the shot right into the net of Franco, as he didn't have to move a whole lot for that shot to end up in a save. That is save number 6 on the night for Franco. A rough night for him so far. Pulling it forward for Allen. Connor Stone. Actually, that's not Connor Stone. That's actually Cooper Canese on the defensive play. Siebold somehow grabs the pass coming from Connor Stone and gets the goal over the top of Franco. So once again, Siebold with yet another hat trick on the night. That's his third, and all three of them about as athletic of plays as you'll ever see on a lacrosse field. The Q's commit doing his job tonight and putting the Scots up 11-2. So Massimilian with another face-off win, that time coming up against Achilles Armendariz. The shot bounces up and over the head of Franco. That one not on goal, as Massimilian will make his way off and will be replaced by Glusing. So Stone back to Siebold. Siebold, goal side again, season open. Connor Stone instead pulled it right back. Has him again. Stone in the middle of the crease, no good. And that one picked up by the waiting Franco. A poor decision there. Somehow ends it up in the net of Benjamin Bishop. And Bishop is going to turn it right back over to the Scots. So 2:26 left in the first half. Highland Park up by 9, 11-2. What a clearance there from Doak Walker. Almost half the field length, getting it to Glusing. So House, who's re-entered. Scots taking their time on offense. Under 2 minutes left here in the second quarter. Already up by 9, looking for more. Looking for any kind of open shot they possibly can. Alexander had an open look there, but a foul on the Scots. Going to give it back to the Eagles. It's going to be a moving pick called on Highland Park. But instead, they're going to get the turnover and the ball right back. Matthew Newman turned it over near midfield. This one's still bouncing around, uncontrolled, and finally Allen is the team that takes advantage. Back near midfield, White on the far side, guarded closely by an aggressive Chris Walker. Walker just takes down White. Wow. Walker sticked White, and White sticked right into the ground. House had an open look. Instead, gives it to Glusing. Glusing to Siebold. Siebold around, trying to find Canese. And Canese couldn't find the back of the net. Under a minute left. 40 seconds to be exact for Allen to try and put another score on the board before halftime. They only needed 1.8 seconds in the first quarter to throw up a prayer as Keelan Harris threw it in from about 35 yards out, getting it past Doak Walker. Allen, 20 seconds left on the clock. A couple whistles and a timeout called by Allen with 17.4 ticks remaining before the halftime break. So Highland Park unable to add to their goal-scoring extravaganza so far tonight. 11 goals here in the first half compared to the 2 for Allen, as they're going to have a sizable lead heading into the halftime break. Allen, on the other hand, trying to find any kind of momentum swing that they possibly could to try and build on, starting with the third quarter face-off. But Allen has been held relatively quiet and relatively in check so far this evening. By relatively, I mean completely in check so far this evening. 11-2 is the score. So 17.4 on the clock. A timeout called by Coach Nick Blummer and Allen as they look to talk it over. So the Scots are ready.
Please stay off the end lines.
As Allen and the Eagles will have possession on their own side of the field.
Thank you, guys.
So here goes Allen, 17 on the clock. Trying to work on a set piece. This one finds the middle of the slot, picked up by Schubert. And what a defensive clinic, excuse me, from Highland Park. A penalty called as there's 3.6 on the clock. So it looks like Allen is going to get one last shot before the halftime break. They had a couple good looks there, but it closed very quickly due to the stout Scots defense, and instead Allen's just going to run the clock out as Cortharp, one of the goal scorers, just takes it back toward midfield, and that'll do it for the first half of action. 11-2 is the score here from Highlander Stadium. The Scots have dominated the Eagles from Allen so far tonight. So the score 11-2. It is halftime. You have been watching Highland Park Lacrosse presented by Game On Sports.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Highland Park drum line. generously donated tonight. We'd like to take this time to recognize our sponsors: Alex Brown, Bob Lilly Promotions, Chick-fil-A, Chips Old Fashioned Burgers, Highland Park Housekeeping, Nike, Park City's Dental Grid, Phoenix Region Centers, St. Bernard Sports, the Stacy Smith family, Swingle Collins and Associates, West Coast Vibes. Thank you to all of your generous sponsors.
Welcome back to Highlander Stadium, where the Scots have opened up an 11-2 advantage over the visiting Allen Eagles. This is Highland Park Lacrosse, presented by Game On Sports. I'm Kyle Yeomans, alongside nobody. I am riding solo this afternoon as we are just about ready for the third quarter and the second half of action from just outside downtown Dallas. Highland Park just dominated the face-off X there in the first half, and they dominated the game from every shape, fashion, and form of the word. 11-2 is the score over Allen, as they have started making their way back out onto the field. Highland Park looking to improve to 2-0 on the season, 1-0 in district play, and then Allen on the other side, 3-3. Looks to be on their way to be 3-4 on the season, barring some kind of comeback here in the second half. But Coach Nick Blummer and squad not done just yet. Two of their goals from the first half. One of those off of a prayer from near midfield right at the buzzer of the first quarter to get them on the board the first time. Another one just a lazy goal that ended up back underneath Doak Walker, and this one ends up in a turnover. Here comes John House working back toward midfield. The Scots have 4-on-3. They have the numbers on their side. Alexander couldn't handle the pass from Holsenbach, and that'll be scooped out of bounds. Heading back toward the Eagles. So to start the second half, the Scots a man down, as it's going to be Camden Clark sitting in the penalty box at least for the next 15 seconds before making his way back onto the field as Allen looks to have some kind of success offensively. That one a great defensive play by Will Stern, putting two hands on the Allen attacker and now not allowing any foothold or balance for any kind of shot attempt. Here comes the Scots one more time as Walker was able to bring it up past midfield and then dump it off to Holsenbach. And the rainbowing pass, a little miscommunication there as Alexander slides near midfield, and there's going to be a penalty called on Cade Sostad, his first game back from injury.
On the field is a cross.
So a cross check there by Sostad. Season, like I mentioned, started off the season 2 the Dallas Jesuit team as we took down Allen 14-5 in that game, and then not to be confused, 11-3 of the night. Jefferson has it. Listed as a defensive. So Scott Malcolm with it. Scott, but there from Metsky and Alexander. Not the perimeter. That's done a great job. Good slide and not allowing any Malcolm. Pass. A long pass from across the field. So Alexander back to Kosmetsky. Kosmetsky with both Alexander brothers on his right and his left. The shot in the goal. Cooper Canese left his feet to grab the pass from Paxton Alexander, and the shot goes over the top of Garrett Franco, putting the Scots up 12-3. The score now equals the exact final score from the Westlake game back on the 18th. 12-3 is now the tally. 7:45 left on the clock here in the third quarter, as Highland Park continues to dominate on the offensive end. Just too much space, as there's another face-off win, 2 in a row for Allen, and a quick turnover as Will Stern put some substantial pressure on that Allen attacker and forced maybe the pass to go high. Stern, a D2 All-State recipient from a year ago, now up on the D1 level, continuing to anchor down this Scots defense. As there's a rainbow pass from Kosmetsky back behind the goal to Nelson. Alexander back to Kos. Kos, the shot blocked and saved by Garrett Franco. That's save number 8 for him on the night. He's been busy in net so far for the Eagles. On the other side, you have Walker, who only has 4 saves to his name, and most of them coming pretty far apart. So here comes Armendariz. Actually, I take that back. That was Wilson Thomas with it. Shifty, speedy attacker going near side. Instead, he's going to dump it right back up top to Parker Stevens. Stevens guarded by Alexander. He's going to give it right back to Thomas. So Allen, despite being down by 9, taking their time. Here comes a shot attempt potentially, and it's not going to be. Instead, Allen continues to take their time again. Sostad able to get in the middle of the passing lane, trying to pick up the ground ball. He does, and then it's knocked away immediately by Connor Corthrop.
Out of bounds. Eagle ball.
And here comes Corthrop back again. So Stevens, back to Thomas, back to Corthrop. Corthrop guarded by Alexander. Alexander, great defense, not allowing any kind of penetration, and the Scots stand strong once again as there's a violation right near midfield. And here comes Nelson. Nelson has some open space. He has Knies on the far side if he wants him. Instead, Knies works toward the middle. Can't handle the pass, and it'll be turned over. And here come the Allen Eagles once again past midfield. A great opportunity there from the Scots to add another one to their tally, as that one tiptoed and kept in bounds by Clay Cutler. Thomas guarded by Glusing. 12-3 still the score. It's been about 2.5 minutes since the last goal scored, as that clock will continue to tick down. The sun is finally set, and we are completely dark here on this Monday night. Just about 4:15 left here in the third quarter. The shot off and to the right, as that ball will stick with the Eagles and instead turn right back over. Here comes Sostad, long legs and all, going up against Thomas. A mismatch there. Sostad tried to go over the top and get it past Franco, but he couldn't do so. But instead, Sostad, after the try, is going to give the Scots possession again. He saw the mismatch between his tall 6'7" plus frame against Thomas.
Good defense by the Eagles.
So Allen regaining possession defensively and pushing it back. Will White with it on the far side. So Allen trying to set up some substitutions here, taking their time. 3 minutes even left on the clock. So that pass out of bounds and over the back line, back in the possessions of the Scots. So Walker pushing forward to House. .230 left here in the third quarter. Highland Park looking to add to their total, potentially go up by double digits for the first time tonight. There's a flag right behind the net. And it's going to And it looks like it's going to be a hold called on Benjamin Bishop.
Definitely on the play is a hold.
So the Scots will continue on the offensive end, trying to add to their 9-goal lead. Be the first time they would be up by double digits so far this regular season. And we're unable to do so against Westlake back on the 18th. And a chance here to reach that double-digit advantage, especially with a man up for the next 20 seconds. Kosmetsky from about 15 yards out is going to send it back to Alexander. Kos, Holston back, no good. Just off and to the left. Can't help but think if that shot would have been on goal, Franco looked a little lost. May not have been able to get a stick on it. So the shot from Kosmetsky also off, as Knies saw Kos in the middle, had a little bit of extra space to work with. Holstenbach trying to get position down low, and good defense standing tall from Stevens. Here comes Holstenbach, rejected by Franco. Franco shoots it. The pass tried to go over the top. It stuck in his stick. And Cooper Knies was just waiting for the open rebound and had no way to miss that one. It was right in front of the goal, as Franco was about 5 feet or so back behind the green net, and Knies had nothing but open space for the easy shot. And that's just a tough break for Garrett Franco, who has 10 saves on the night, but gives up his 13th goal, and the Scots are up by 10. So almost a minute left here in the third as Maximilian loses another face-off. Allen has been relatively better in that category here in the second half, as that shot off and wide from Peyton Jefferson. So a couple more substitutions here from Coach Thompson, as you see John Walker into the game alongside Spencer Stowe as well. Andrew Stanzel, one of the sophomore standouts, excuse me. And then also Camden Clark entering in. Chris Walker still in the game for the Scots, as Walker comes from behind and lays a nasty lick on the Allen attacker. And right there, Jefferson got mobbed by 5 white shirts. Lost possession, but his teammate Scott Malcolm came to help out a little bit. But Chris Walker, all the way across the field, forces yet another turnover. Some more white shirts in the middle trying to force another turnover. And finally, the Scots and Will Stern will push forward. So Connor Stone is just going to hold on to it and let the clock run out here in the third quarter. It is 13-3 as the Scots continue their beatdown of the Allen Eagles, up by double digits for the first time here in the regular season, and are well on their way to their first district win and a 2-0 regular season start. Allen looks to be on their way to dropping to 3-4 on the young year here in their 7th regular season matchup.
Please mark your calendars for the next lacrosse.
So Highland Park will move on from this one to play Southlake here from Highlander Stadium after this home opener. And they will play this Saturday. And then after that one, they will move on to their North Carolina swing, playing Cape Henry Collegiate from Virginia, and then Northwest Guilford, a team from North Carolina, and then moving on to McDonough High School, one of the top lacrosse teams in the nation, former #1 in that ranking, before coming back home and playing Keller, and then at Plano West against the Woodlands at home, and then at Kingwood. So Highland Park trying to improve to 2-0 and then potentially 3-0 against Southlake on Saturday before hopping on a plane and heading to North Carolina. So Highland Park gave up 3 goals against Westlake on the 18th. A chance here to keep that streak alive as well.
Next week, you're on the mic next week, you know that, right? Next week, you're on the mic.
So the Scots just about ready to come out and finish the final 12 minutes of this one. Thank you again for joining us here at Game On Sports Productions and the broadcast of Highland Park Lacrosse, as the Scots have opened up a 13-3 advantage through 3 quarters against the Allen Eagles. I'm Kyle Yeomans bringing you the remainder of this one here from Highlander Stadium. Maximilian back to the face-off X against Achilles Armaderas, a midfielder who has had some success there so far tonight, has 2 face-off wins to his name already. Maximilian sees that one loose, and another face-off win for Allen, as that defense ended up almost forcing a turnover for the Scots. And here comes Jefferson. Jefferson, a defender who plays forward, almost a long stick mid. But listed as a defender on the depth chart, as he's going to scoop that one up. Cortharp back across to Malcolm. Malcolm on the far side, about 10 yards out, guarded closely by Walker. A shot and a goal. Parker Schubert, his first goal of the afternoon off the assist from Scott Malcolm.
Goal by number 22, Parker
So Schubert brings the Highland Park advantage back down to single digits with 11:09 remaining here in the 4th. Maximilian back to the face-off X's. Despite that goal, Highland Park and Doak Walker have had a nice game so far tonight. Walker 5 saves and only 4 goals allowed. On the other side, you have Garrett Franco with 10 saves, but 13 goals allowed. Scots haven't had a shot on goal since the middle of that 3rd quarter. Kenise back behind Nelson. Up top, finding Walker. Walker, another senior leader on this team, could come in off the bench and make a big impact. Adds the depth that Highland Park and Coach Thompson look for in a roster. Here comes Highland Park. Had an open look down low. Kenise had some open space in the slot. Potential shot there. Passed up, moving left, spinning back right. Finally gets some kind of opening, and it'll be turned over. Loose ball here on the near side will be picked up by Walker. Walker has some open space. Yes, Kenise instead shoots it forward, and a save there for Franco. That was about as well placed of a shot as you could ask for from John Walker. Upper 90 on the left-hand side, and instead the Eagles running back the other way had an open shot at goal, but instead Schubert saw the ball head straight to the ground. Here comes Stone. And straight off the substitution, here comes Parker Alexander. Alexander back to Knies. Nelson up top to Jackson. Alexander for a run. Right-handed shot underneath the waiting net of Franco, and Parker Alexander unassisted again. The North Carolina commit has his second goal of the day. A North District honorable mention from a year ago, showing exactly why again tonight. Second time on the board. Also a huge facilitator for the Scots offensive attack. Massimilian in the face-off X again against Armendariz, as that one's picked up by Paxton Alexander. Fake the pass to Kosmetsky. Still working far side on that Allen defender. So Kosmetsky taking his time, setting up the offense as Parker makes his way back in. Alexander over to his brother. Looking for Knies, instead finds Kosmetsky. Kosmetsky going right hand over the top, and that one blocked by Franco. Not sure if that would have ricocheted off the goalpost and gone out or in. Regardless, Franco got a stick on it and forced it off and to the left. Here comes Nelson again. Nelson over the top. The shot, no good, off and to the left from Alexander, as Paxton tried to get his second on the night as well. 7:36 remaining on the clock. 14-4 in favor of Highland Park, as Kosmetsky's going to make a run. Off and to the right. Kosmetsky breaks left underneath. Franco for the goal. Kosmetsky with a little running back juke move there. Ended up wide open in the middle of the slot and went left-handed there. As Kosmetsky has his second goal of the night as well. So Jack Kosmetsky on the board. A couple substitutions here for Coach Thompson, as Robert Neely, a junior, will enter into the game. John House back in as well. A face-off won by Highland Park as John House picks up the ground ball. Coming forward, John House, not your usual goal scorer. A two-sport captain. Great at setting up some of his players as well. Didn't have a goal in the first regular season game against Westlake. But a chance here to add to his total as the Scots are up by 11. Finn Gent, who got the scoring going today, sends that one just over the top of the crossbar. And here come the Scots again. Move inside, finding Stone. Gent back behind to Holsomback. Holsomback makes a nice move, finds an open Gent. Gent for the goal.
Number 1, Finn Gent.
Finn Gent with his second of the night. And the Rollins commit Takes advantage of a beautiful move behind the net from Max Holzenbach. Holzenbach lost his defender. Had way more than enough space to work with and had Gent wide open in the slot. So another goal here for Highland Park puts them up by 12, 16-4. Continuing their offensive outburst. Not a surprise here from Coach Thompson. That one's picked up and taken by Robert Neely.
Draw by number 4, Robert Neely.
Neely listed as a defender. Came forward and make a nice play on the ground ball there as Glusing's checked in as well as John Walker. Here comes Cole Jackson. Jackson, the junior. Sends that one to Stone. Stone makes a nice move, but lost the ball. And a defensive advantage played, and it'll stay with Highland Park. That was Zachary Carter on the defensive effort for Allen. Able to knock the ball away as Connor Stone had a nice move, sending him open and up and underneath. Max Holzenbach grabbed the pass up top, went 180 on the stick, 12-6, and sent it underneath Franco for another goal. Holzenbach, who's been doing it, scoring and assisting tonight. And they're going to send Finn Gent to the face-off X. 5 minutes even on the clock. Highland Park with the 13-goal advantage, 17-4. Gent picking it up in the middle, and a foul called. It'll stay with the Scots. Finn Gent trying to split a couple defenders there. And instead, here comes Knies on the near side, guarded closely by Benjamin Bishop. Stowe with it, guarded by Jefferson. And then here comes Walker. Walker, left-handed shot, no good, deflected by Franco. So here come the Scots again. Stone with the stutter step, guarded by Carter. Almost boxing him out, trying to get some post presence in basketball terms, as Holzenbach had a shot saved by Franco. And Franco now up to 15 saves on the night. Far side. Sent behind the net. Nice stout defense there from the Scots. It's Tress Page, the senior, putting that long stick right in the back of the Allen attacker. Coltharp. Actually, that's Stevens. That shot up and saved as Trent Stillman has made his way into the game. What a snag on the near side from Stowe. Finds an open Alexander. Holzenbach in the middle, trying to find Stone, and that loose ball right in front of the goal is going to be cleared up to the Allen attackers instead. They can't handle it as well. And so another ground ball here from Highland Park. Stansel able to get a stick on that one. Here comes Stowe. Back to Alexander, and Alexander will take his time. 2:30 left here in the fourth quarter. The Scots well on their way to being 2-0 to start this young season before moving on to playing Southlake on Saturday. Walker coming forward to Alexander. That one almost ended up in a turnover, but instead Knies ended up with it. Walker with a try. Thought twice about it. Gives it to Alexander. Alexander moves right, shifts left, bouncing shot up and over Franco. The Scots still fighting for the loose ball. Continues to pop around as Allen and the defenders are fighting for it right on that end line, and a foul called on Highland Park. So a loose ball push will give it right back to Allen with just over 1.5 minutes remaining. On the far side, Allen and the defenseman gets that one taken away by Robert Neely. Neely still working on the loose ball. And a couple whistles keep it with the Eagles. On the far side, Malcolm with it. Guarded by his jersey number counterpart. And that shot and the goal right in the middle of the hash marks. Parker Schubert is the first Allen Eagle to get into crooked numbers in the scoring column, as he has his second on the night. So Stillman couldn't make the save there. And Schubert has 2 goals. Allen only 5 on the night compared to Highland Park's 17, with a minute and change left here in the fourth. Allen has only failed to score 5 goals in 2 of their first 6 games so far this season, as the final seconds continue to tick off. Thomas with it. Back to Schubert. Thornley guarded far side. No room to work on John Walker. Some more stout defense from the Scots. Here goes Schubert, guarded closely by Clark. So 20 seconds remaining. Allen on the far side. Runs into Clark, and Clark able to force a bad pass. Going out of bounds here on the near sideline, and after a couple more passes, that one should do it. Highland Park improves to 2-0 on this young season. 17-5 is the final score, as Highland Park will move on to play Southlake on Saturday, right back here at Highlander Stadium. So 2 up, 2 down. So far for the Scots, a big win over Westlake, 12-3 in Frisco. And then a big win here against the Allen Eagles improves them to 1-0 here in the North District standings. So winning their home opener tonight puts Highland Park at a 2-0 record so far this season. Highland Park once again wins this one 17-5 over the visiting Allen Eagles. Thank you again for joining us here on Game On Sports. For our producer, Fred Garner, for our camera operator, Silviano Moncada, and John Knoll, I'm Kyle Yeomans. Thank you again for joining us, and we will see you next time.